No. Okay.
1, 2,
3.
Good evening. Today I'm going to talk to you guys about the celebrations of both New Year's and Christmas. Not the way that we celebrate it, but the way it's celebrated over in Russia. According to Washington Times, 90% of all Americans celebrate Christmas. And according to DW, 83% of all Russians celebrate Christmas. Though a majority of both countries celebrate Christmas, they're celebrated in very different ways. To begin, Christmas in Russia is not celebrated on the 25th of December, but on January 7th. This is because of a calendar change during the time of Julius Caesar. Previous to Julius Caesar, they followed the Gregorian calendar, which placed Christmas on the 7th. But when Julius Caesar came to reign, they discovered that there were over 365 days in a year, and they shifted the entire calendar, moving Christmas to December 25th. Because of this change, they have two different days for Christmas. Since at the time Russia was not Roman Catholic, they rejected the Julian calendar and continued with the Gregorian calendar. Also, unlike in America today, where a little kid wakes up on Christmas and expects a boatload of presents, there are no presents on Christmas in Russia. This is because during the Soviet era, the Soviet Union erased Russia from the calendar. They no longer celebrated Russia because Karl Marx said that religion was the opium of all people. So they dismantled all things considered religious. And because of this, they tried to take away all the traditions of Christmas. So now Christmas in Russia is looked upon as a day of unity, a day to heal the soul, and a day of peace. It's a time where people can come together and just celebrate each other and their family. Now, like I said before, the Soviet Union tried to erase Christmas, which they were not successful in doing. This is because, according to Nancy Shue, Christmas and its traditions were too strong to suppress, so they were just transplanted to New Year's. So basically what happened was the people loved the idea of Christmas, and they loved everything about it, so they just took it and moved it to New Year's. So unlike how we wake up on Christmas to expect presents, they wake up the day after New Year's and expect presents from their Santa Claus, Ded Morozo, which translates to Grandfather of the Cold. So basically, on New Year's, they all get together, they have a big celebration, they exchange gifts, they have lots of parties. 10 minutes before midnight, they listen to the president, he gets on the TV, they listen to the president talk about what a great year they had and how the next year is going to be even better. And then they watch the clock, a very famous clock called the Kremlin clock. It's the equivalent to watching the ball drop in New York City. They all sit in anticipation and wait for it to strike 12, just like we would, waiting for the ball to hit the ground. They all celebrate Happy New Year's, and it's similar to us in that way. Something very interesting that I thought was fun is that sometimes they celebrate two New Years, the 1st of January and the 14th of January. This is because, going back to the Gregorian calendar, New Year's was originally celebrated on the 14th of January, not the 1st. So it's not uncommon for people to have celebrations and parties on the 14th. Also, another fun fact is that since there's 9 time zones in Russia, a lot of times people go from the east to the west and celebrate New Year's 9 times, which, talking to the young foreign exchange student who got to stay at my house, she said that's something she's always dreamed of doing with her friends, and so she always found that really interesting. That's mine. Also, during the week between Christmas and New Year's, or New Year's and Christmas, there's what they call the week of relaxation. This is where all the businesses are closed in Russia. Not one person's out in Russia. Everything's shut down and closed. This is because it's the week where they get to come together and they get to talk and hang out with their family. They get to have parties and just be with their family. This is because it's not uncommon for someone to work 6 days a week and 13 hours a day. Having so much work doesn't allow for a lot of family time. So having this week compensates for that and keeps unity within the country, within the families, and allows for really great social time. All in all, though Christmas and here and Christmas there are celebrated differently on 2 different days because of the calendar change. They have presents on New Year's, not on Christmas like we do. They're all very similar, which keeps this world going. The end.